I want to just for a second, talk about what is the cost to not seeing us as a whole.
Racism is expensive. So it is easier to believe, because it has always been a part of the common ether, the common conversation, to presume that the lot that Black and brown people find themselves in, Black people specifically, is of our doing. Choice, that we are choice poor because of the choices that we've made. And, the pull yourself up by your bootstraps argument that I know I hear a lot. I don't know everybody else, but it's a lot. So this idea of the presumption that you have the same opportunities, Black folk, to find your way to the American dream as white folk. And because of the persistent bad choices that you've made and that your parents have made and that their parents have made, that's why you're in this particular area. That's why you're in this particular economic strata. 2021, Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco studied that exact question to really determine what is the root of inequity, not inequality, but inequity that Black and brown suffer under, such that the entire country really start paying attention. And so the Fed did this amazing quantifiable study where they pulled out choice, right? So if all things being equal, if you have Black and brown and then white, same education, same background or similar background, similar choices made from, I think it was like 8th grade on, in terms of, not getting into trouble in school, no detention. What is the economic outcomes are still extraordinarily different. Quantified as this, since 1990, we have lost $55 trillion in GDP due to structural and institutional inequity against Black people and Hispanic people. And so that number will only climb as the demographic trends climb. As we become Blacker and browner, that number gets higher and higher. And so that's why I talk about, in whose interest is it really that Black and brown America thrive? It's really all of our interest. And the reason why I'm so emphatic on that point is because policy setting, from a monetary policy standpoint and a fiscal policy standpoint, heavily rely on the health of the middle class of our country in setting policy. And so the middle class of the country really must be, has always been, and should likely forever be populated by whomever is the majority available, right? Now, we've always had the benefit of having the most and the least encumbered people by race in our country populating the majority and therefore populating the middle class, i.e. white people. Now we are going to have the most encumbered having to populate the middle class. And this is significant because Black and Hispanic households have never been represented in the middle class meaningfully, ever. And so that has to change in just 22 years, by 2045. And so when we think about the cost at the $55, $56 trillion mark now, where we're not the majority in the available workforce, at least, or decidedly the majority among adults, when we do become the majority, that number will quadruple. And then what does that mean for the economic outcomes, the macroeconomic policy standpoint, fiscal policy standpoint? What does that mean for the well-being of our country? So that's why I think it's really important for us at this dispensation in time to understand the cumulative cost of what we have all inherited. We didn't do it per se. The people who are drawing breath today didn't do it. We didn't create this, but we've inherited it. And we stand the most to lose, as do our children and their children, if we, this group of humans, can't correct it.